a look. So we'll start from the beginning, cell division. So here we'll be learning about the processes, okay, involved in the cell division. Fine. First of all, we have cell division. What it is it? Why do cells do it? Why is it important? Okay, for us to understand the concept. So cell division, you can see here it is giving daughter cells. So cell division, it is also known as mitosis. Okay, takes place in regular body cells and it helps to keep the cells living and growing in nature. Okay. So these are the various phases of mitosis that we will learn in detail in today's class. Fine. Next, mitosis. Mitosis, we have basic phases of cell life. You have the prophase, okay, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Okay, clear? Any problem till here? Next. So one by one we'll see the characteristics and cytokinesis in mitosis process. Interphase. It is the longest stage of a cell's life, the time spent between divisions. It produces all the materials required for the growth, and it's actually the preparatory phase for the division, right? Part of interphase is also known as generation 1 G1 phase of the cell cycle. Growth phase you can see. So you have in here the cycle of the cell begins, the cell grows, cell continues, cell decides whether to continue or not, then replicate, right? Then comes G2 generation, cell prepares to divide and it undergoes the cell division mitosis. Okay, clear? Yeah. Now, is the second phase of interphase, which is known as the S phase of the cell cycle. Have you done S phase? No. It is the synthesis phase when the DNA is going to replicate itself. So G1, okay, cell decides whether to continue. This is the S phase, wherein there will be the DNA replication, okay, for which there is DNA replication. So it's just a precursor to that. The cell is going to prepare again, give the cell division. Next process will concentrate upon G2 generation now, where the cell prepares to divide. The third part of the cell cycle, G2, is just a checkpoint to make sure that the DNA is correct. Okay, when it get message that DNA is correct, okay, after the duplication and the replication, then it starts to move towards the mitosis. Okay, next step is now mitosis. This step, right? The cell division taking place. The last part of the cell cycle is called as mitosis and has 4 phases, during which the cell is going to divide into 2 cells, right? Yeah. First comes the prophase. The cell divide begins the division process. Okay, this is the first step. Okay, it is going to start dividing. The nucleus, it actually disappears. Okay, that's one of the basic identity characteristics of this phase, and the nuclear membrane is going to break apart because it has to prepare itself for the cell division, right? To begin the cell division. Okay, any problem till here? Next. Next is the chromosomes become visible. Okay, we can see such things, okay, started to appear. The spindle apparatus forms and attaches to the centromeres of the chromosomes. Okay. Now this
Yeah.
is the early prophase when it has just started, but this is late prophase in which you can actually see somewhat visibility of the chromosomes also. Okay. Now the spindle apparatus forms and attaches to centromeres of the chromosomes. So there's a lot of spindling which is there. Okay. Next is metaphase, right? So what happens in metaphase?
Uh, the membrane is like it's not there, like it's come, yeah, gone,
Mhm.
and then the chromosomes are set on the equator, like the center part.
Right. Fine. You'll all see them in the middle, right? Oriented in the middle.
Yeah.
So the nuclear membrane is completely gone. In the first step, it was actually breaking up, and in the second, you will not notice that. The duplicated chromosomes line up along the cell's equator. Okay, they'll all collect here. So that's the metaphase, right?
Yeah.
Next part. You can see the metaphase in between. There's a spindle apparatus. You can see here on this particular portion. Next is anaphase. Okay, what happens in anaphase? It is the third phase of mitosis, right?
Half the chromosome move to one pole and other half to other pole.
It's two other pole. Very good. So the diploid sets of the daughter chromosomes they separate out, and if something is here, it will be other will be on the other end. Fine.
Yeah.
They are pushed and pulled away. They are pushed and pulled away towards opposite poles of the cell by the spindle fibers, right?
Yeah.
Next, just see this is the early anaphase. So they are moving away, right? Spindle fibers, you can
Yeah.
see. Any problem till here?
No.
Next is telophase. In telophase, what happens? The nuclear membrane and the nucleoli, which is the nucleus, they reform. They start to reform. Okay. Then cytokinesis is nearly complete. The cell division is on the verge of completion. Clear?
Okay.
If you want to write, you can write these points in your copy.
Okay. Yeah.
Next part is your the cell plate which begins to form in this phase, which is telophase. Okay, early telophase. Okay, a cell plate begins to form, and the cell prepares for the final division. Okay,
Yeah.
then is cytokinesis, the early stage of mitosis. The cytoplasm, the organelles, the nuclear material, they are actually going to evenly split, and new two daughter cells will be formed. Fine. Remember, cytokinesis is the final phase of this process of mitosis. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Have you done cytokinesis in school class?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now the two new cells, each exactly is going to look like, okay, the same copy, the duplicated ones. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is interphase?
During interphase, the cellular organelles double in number and then DNA replicates and protein synthesis occurs.
Right, right, right. Okay. Just take a look here. So we have the cell which is going to spend the majority of life here. Because why? Because it's just the part or the phase where the entire cell is going to grow and function. Okay.
Yeah.
So if here that the cell is going to pass on the majority to, okay.
Yeah.
This is the basic interface where the cell is growing, developing itself. You have centrioles, chromatin, nucleus, nuclear membrane, right? Clear?
Yes. Yeah.
Next is in early prophase. Okay. In early prophase of mitosis, the chromosomes they get small. Okay. They're going to get small.
Small.
And the centrioles move to the poles of the nucleus. You can see.
Yeah.
Okay. And the spindles are going to start developing.
Yeah.
Clear? You can see these spindle fibers. They were not there
Yeah.
previously. They are now. So you will get spindle fibers and you will get chromosomes which are consisting of two sister chromatids. Okay, next part. Should I move to next slide? Just go through this.
Yeah.
Now, late prophase happens when the nuclear envelope it disintegrates. Okay.
What's the nuclear envelope?
Nuclear envelope, your where your nucleus is, you say there's a outer lining to it, so that's nuclear envelope which is going to start disintegrating. Okay.
Like nuclear membrane.
Membrane, right? Same. Okay.
Okay.
Same thing,
Yeah.
child. And spindle is going to begin to move and the chromosomes will move towards the center, you can see, right?
Yeah.
Any problem till here?
No.
Next, what happens during metaphase? The chromosomes would line up across the center of the cell, and that's called as the metaphase plate that they start to build up, right?
Yeah.
Clear? If you
Yes.
know the equator, or the you called it as the metaphase plate, right? Next,
Yeah.
just go through this.
Yeah.
In anaphase, the chromatids that make up each chromosome, they move apart and travel to opposite cells of cellular spindle. So these are your daughter cells. These are your chromatids, right?
Yeah.
And chromosomes. Now comes the in telophase. Now in telophase, an envelope is going to be surrounding. Okay, surrounding the each set of chromatids, and they are going to form the new nucleus, and the cytoplasma is going to start developing and dividing. Fine. So the cleavage furrows where it is going to separate out, as you already know, right? So now the
Yeah.
cytokinesis is going to take place when the cytoplasma is going to divide into two daughter cells with identical genetic material. You can see, right? These are the daughter cells,
Yeah.
right? Any problem till here?
Yeah.
Okay, just take a quick review here. Can you name the faces?
Uh, I can.
Mm-hmm. First, A1 is what?
Metaphase. No.
B.
Uh, this is telophase.
Good. C.
Uh, I don't know this
It's the general.
one.
It's just the starting, right?
Oh,
D.
yeah.
D. Almost starting of Anna, right? E part.
But,
Again, the starting. Fine.
yeah, sorry.
So this is interphase starting. This is prophase. Because here the spindles and everything have started to develop. Metaphase, anaphase, and finally you have the telophase, right? Clear?
Yeah. Yes.
Why do cells divide is the first question. So they do so, just go through the slide. If a cell is becoming large, the more demands the cell places on its DNA for the genetic material. It has more trouble moving enough food and wastes across its membrane. So it is better that it divides, right? Clear? Can you hear me?
So, yes,
Can you
I
hear me?
can. Yeah.
Got through it?
Yeah.
Any problem till here?
Uh,
Okay. Just wait. Let me see what topic we can do next.